Hello everyone, how are you diddling? So what is the Matrix? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because we often think of it as being this kind of sci-fi fiction, but is it actually real? Well, in the film, Morpheus says to Neo, "What is the Matrix? It's control."
What is the Matrix? Control.
It's control, okay? And also, if we consult Google, because who else would we rather consult than the sole authority over everyone's mind right now, and the reason the Matrix actually exists in physical reality. The Matrix,
Matrix.
and that's how you say it, look,
Matrix.
is the cultural, social, or political environment which something develops. Simply that. And so in that alone, we can see that it's real, right? Because we've all been brought up in this culture, this society, this political environment. And the example I use is Oxbridge was the matrix of the ideology. So it's simply that from which we've emerged. And so let's look at the social milieu atmosphere from which we have developed, because then we can begin to understand what it is, really. It's like the state school that we were in, the normalization of society, right? Politics, okay? People just basically running around saying things on television, entertainment, sport, okay? The excessive intellect, all of the things that keep our minds in the Matrix. What is the Matrix? The Matrix is control. So if you set the norms and you set the syllabus, you set the education system, and people never think outside of the box, they could said to be in the Matrix, right? So how do we transcend the Matrix? Well, look at that. There's a little link I'm going to put up there somewhere. And that's another video, how to escape the Matrix. But this one is just simply about what the Matrix is. And let's just take a look at an image of an embryo. Here's a little human embryo, a little fetus. And it's surrounded by a membrane. And if we take that as the microcosm, let's now look at the macrocosm. What do we see? We see the planet. We're all surrounded by this envelope, this membrane, right? And the Matrix, interestingly, when you look at the etymology, it says, and let's hear it again.
Matrix.
It comes from mater, the Latin, right? Which means breeding female. So we say mother nature, right? So what if we've all emerged from this womb, this giant womb, okay? We now need to pierce the illusion of matter, which is piercing through. Let's remember this image. This image is a nice one because it shows someone piercing through the illusion of matter. And you'll begin to understand why Russell Brand has a 33 on his wrist and why 33 is on the top of the Freemasons, right? This is the highest, numerologically, this is the highest number attainable to man. You start synchronistically seeing these numbers all over the place. We'll do videos on that in the future as well. But here we have it. We have the Matrix, which is this control, which is this state of consciousness that is excessively intellectual, and it has yet to bridge spirit and matter. It's maintained, it's thwarted from forward progress. It's like stuck in the mud. Okay, so many people are stuck in the mud because of the incredible amount of distractions. Everything is distracting you. Your friends are distracting you. Your family is distracting you, keeping everyone in the Matrix. And most notably, it's the work, right, we're having to do. Attention is narrow perception, as Alan Watts said, right? So our minds are being restricted. This is convergent thinking. Everything is restricting our minds. It's only when we are alone that we begin to think more expansively, holistically, right? It's all of those things. It's the right brain, creative faculties that allow us to transcend this illusion that we're all experiencing. So anyway, that's a quick video on what the Matrix is. Ultimately, as Morpheus said, it's control. And as Google said, just to recap, it's the cultural, social, or political environment in which something develops. And unfortunately, if that normalization is the only thing we ever experience, we never actually grow up. We never get into true adulthood. We haven't been truly raised spiritually, right? From the dead, from an interred position. Like the first degree of Freemasonry is the entered apprentice. This is a play on words. Remember the phonetics, right? The Phoenicians, we'll go into those. But it's a phonetic spin on words, which means the interred apprentice, right? And you see how they dress people up. They're all ragged. They're a mess in consciousness. So if we're to transcend this, we need to learn of new ways, new systems that allow us to be totally free in society. So that shelter, energy, food and water, those things are basic human rights. And that's, of course, what we're doing at newearth.land. So please subscribe here on YouTube if you're interested in more videos like this, learning about how to raise in consciousness and start to experience true bliss, freedom, live our lives the way that we truly want to. But for now, thanks very much for watching this video.